Okay, in this section, I want to start to look at formatting spreadsheets. And in this video, I want to look at merging and unmerging cells. So let's say we've got our pizza Excel spreadsheet, and we want to merge all of these cells, A2 through B5, and we want to make them into one big cell. We want to delete everything in here and just make this one big cell that sort of straddles both of these columns. How would we do that? Well, that's what we're going to look at in this video. So let's head back over to our code. And I've created a file called format.py, and we've got our import things here at the top. So let's create a workbook function, and this is going to be a workbook instance. Now let's load that pizza spreadsheet. So let's go load underscore workbook, and that's pizza.xlsx. Now let's create our active sheet, ws equals wb.active. So we've done all these things many times. So now, like I said, let's merge all of those cells that we talked about. So to do that, we just call ws.merge underscore cells. And this is a function. And let's say merge cells here. And here we just pass in the range that we want to merge. So we want to merge A2 through B5. Now, if we don't change this, it will take whatever's in the top left-hand corner as the value of the merged cell. So if we look here at our pizza file, that would be John, the top left-hand corner of whatever you're merging. So we're merging all of these, so this value will be John, unless we decide to change it. So let's save our file. So that's wb.save. And let's change this name to pizza3.xlsx. Remember, we already have a pizza 2, and we don't want to save it as the same name because we don't want to overwrite the data we already have. We just want to create a different file. So, okay, let's go ahead and save this and run our format.py file from our terminal. So let's go Python format.py. Now we can look at pizza3.xlsx, and you can see, boom, we've got a big merge cell, and John is in there. So notice all the data that was in all of these cells before is gone. It's been overwritten by John, which is the only thing in this giant cell. And that's how we do that. So we can also unmerge doing the same basic thing. So let's close this file, head back over to our code, and we can call unmerge. So let's unmerge. And it's the same thing. It's ws, only now it's .unmerge underscore cells. And again, we can pass in whatever we want. So let's unmerge our A2 and our B5. Let's save this and run it. And when we do, we can open up our pizza3.xlsx file. And we see these are now separate cells. They're not all merged together. The data is all gone, but John still remains. So that's how to merge and unmerge. Now, like I mentioned, we could also change the value. So after we merged, let's comment this out. Let's just, as we have before, we could just ws, and then we can pass in A2 because we know that's what it's going to be. And we can set this equal to something, whatever we want. Now if we save this and run it, and then check our pizza3 file, we see this is changed to something, right? Very cool. So that's one way to merge. You can do it using our other notation that we've looked at in the past where we designate rows and columns. To do that, it's the same thing, ws.merge underscore cells. But now we can issue a start underscore row of equal, let's say 2. We can do a start underscore column equals 1. We can do an end underscore row of 5 and an end underscore column of 2. So this is the same thing as A2 to B5. We're just doing it in row and column notation. So A2 is row 2, column 1. B5 is row 5, column 2, right? So it's the same thing. It's just a different way to do it in case you don't know the specific, titles of your columns and rows if you're doing a loop or something, and it's the same thing. So we can save this and run it real quick. And then when we open up our pizza3 file, we get, again, the same merged thing with something in there. So that's how to merge and unmerge cells. In the next video, we'll start to look at more formatting type things, and we'll look at font properties.